Well, hello again, everyone. This is Ted Schmidt from Action Coach Northwest, and we are going to do another podcast here for the Greater Spokane business community. And our guest today is Chad Clay from Real Frequency. So, welcome, Chad, and thanks for being on our podcast today.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, tell us a little bit about Real Frequency. What is Real Frequency?
Real Frequency is a consulting company. We work with individuals who are in some form of career transition. A lot of our clients are high school students, and we help them with the transition to college. We help later stage college students with their first career search and the leap from college into the professional workforce. And then we work with individuals who are, more mature and further down their career path, who are looking to make a change of some sort. That includes a lot of work with veterans who are getting out of the
Oh,
military
yeah. Okay.
and helping them, yeah, with the transition from a military career to their first non-military career. So that's what Real Frequency focuses on. We call them life leaps, where you're making a leap from one phase of your kind of professional
Right.
life to another. Yeah.
Okay, Life Leap. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, well, next question. If you had to start from one in business, what would you do differently?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, and it's kind of a stumper. I'm going to be honest. I mean, there's so many lessons to learn. I've been in entrepreneurship for 25 years now, and I feel like one of the hardest things to do is to manage growth. So if I could invent some way to sort of anticipate the needs of growth and where to sort of invest those rare free dollars to manage it, I think that would be ideal, but it's a little bit of a fantasy to be able to predict in that way. But sometimes in my journey, I feel like we've hired too quickly, anticipating growth and wanting to make sure that we had everything in place to handle increased demand. And then I've made the mistake of not hiring fast enough and sort of been jammed up when the demand increases and you don't have the people around you to kind of handle that. So, growth is challenging. It's a cash flow strain for sure. For that reason, investing in the things that you need to have in place to handle growth, but then also, where does that cash come from? So
Sure.
I think, what I do differently, if I could go back, I might make decisions around that differently, knowing how things turned out. But I think going forward, a lot of the way that we manage growth is really just trying to be very analytical, very honest with what's likely around the corner. And then most importantly, honestly, it's just hiring the right people. I think that's, as much as the timing of hiring and anticipation of growth, it's who you hire and how quickly can they, come up to speed and sustain themselves as employees.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, timing. Yeah, timing can be tricky. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, what have your biggest learnings been as an employer since you began in business?
I'd say again, a lot of it is around the people who you surround yourself with. I think hiring individuals is something, especially for small companies, it's almost like a burden. You got to put everything aside and really, conduct a search, bring in the right people, have the right conversations, prepare for interviews properly, understand what you're looking for. And so it can be almost like an annoying extra task when you've got so much else going on. But I've
Mm,
learned that hiring the right people it's just it can save yourself so much trouble down the road. And so really investing in that process and how you conduct it is is critical. It's critical.
critical.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. Great. Okay. Next question. What are some common misconceptions about running a business and how do you address them?
I think, again, coming from a career of being in small companies and in that startup phase a lot, I think the misconception is that, you know, that it's easier than it really is. There's I'm going to get away from the corporate kind of grind. I'm going to follow my passion. If I love what I do, I'll never work a day in my life. I think those are misconceptions. I think the difficulty of entrepreneurship and running a small company is that a lot of the just blocking and tackling of running a business there's kind of people to do that for you when you're in a big organization. And when you're running a very small company, what I like to say is, 1 minute you're doing the accounting, 1 minute you're having high level discussions with clients, and some days you're grabbing the toilet brush to clean the
Yeah.
bathroom because there's no one else to do it,
Yeah,
And
we
so
all know that one, right?
yeah, and so I just think that misconception of small companies and owning your own business is that it's going to be this really easy thing when I think it's exponentially harder than being like that cog in a big machine at times,
Sure.
because the division of labor that large companies can afford that small companies just can't.
Yeah. Being hard work, being an entrepreneur, it's hard work, that's for sure.
Yep.
Okay. What do you attribute your growth to?
Um, our growth at Real Frequency has been really built on the product and the service quality. We have a large audience of former clients and people that have been impacted by our business that have referred us on to other people. Um, it's sort of given us an opportunity in our early years to not spend a ton of money and mental capacity on marketing. It is something that we are at a stage where we need to do better. Um, but the years that we have under our belt has really been driven by clients that work well with us, enjoy the experience, and are willing to talk about us to their friends and family. And so you could almost trace every client we have to another client. I mean, it's almost like the
Sure. Okay.
coaching tree that you see, like that Nick Saban has, right? Like there's so many college coaches out there you could trace to
Right.
him,
Right.
or Bill Belichick. And we just sort of have almost from like our first maybe 5 to 10 clients, and maybe every client we have could be traced back to them. And so again, we're lucky in that we have those types of clients. We appreciate them. But I think going forward, we sort of need to start telling the world about us and not relying on that
Right.
referral business.
So to this point, it's been more organic growth through word of mouth,
Yep.
referrals, and now you're thinking maybe expand the visibility more with some more traditional marketing thing. Okay, great.
Yep. Correct.
Okay. Okay. How do you balance your personal life with the demands of running a business?
That's a tough one. Not well. Yeah. The inventor of the laptop it was great, but man, it does make that work kind of follows uh, me and my colleagues around, to be honest. One of my colleagues is in Mexico right now, vacationing with his dad, and he's working. And one of my colleagues went to Europe a few weeks ago and was able to what we call unplug. Really
Yeah.
have the unplug vacation. We're very fortunate to have a great team. We have a lot of trust in our people, and one another, and we know that the work will get done. And so we're very liberal with, where someone works from, which both creates balance in a way, but it also hinders it. So we have defined vacations as, I'll be working or I won't be. And if you decide it's a not working vacation, we really try to give ourselves a lot of grief if someone breaks that rule.
Okay.
You'll see someone send an email who's supposed to be on an unplugged vacation, and
Yeah.
it's appreciated, but we also try to, discourage that.
Yeah.
Um, and because, honestly, recharging is a real thing. We value it, and it does need to happen. So I would just say, as owners, my partner and I are known to not have a lot of time off. But again, entrepreneurship, being in charge, having flexibility. I've worked from a lot of different places, and been able to create balance because I can go do things from anywhere. And so I don't know. I guess it's a double-edged sword being able to work from anywhere.
Yeah. Do you find that just on a day-to-day basis, a daily, the balance on a day-to-day basis is that is that a little bit different than the vacation part of it, or is it kind of the same?
I think it's kind of the same. I think the flexibility of being able to get up early, do some work, knock some things out, does allow me to, walk the dog in the middle of the day, things like that. So it, I think there's balance, but I do think having the no kidding moat around certain things is important to establish. Like I coach one of my kids' sports team, and when I'm out on the field, I'm obviously, offline. Uh, and so those moments in the day where the phone is not nearby and neither is a laptop, I think those are important. But if I think about something, at 9 o'clock at night that I forgot to do, I can, because of the old laptop, I can just throw it open and get it
Uh,
done. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's
I guess it depends, right?
exactly.
Uh, yeah. Okay. Next question. What qualities do you look for in employees, and how do you foster a positive and productive work environment?
Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of like, how do we hire? And then this is also, this is a bit of our business. So, we believe really strongly in the importance of employee engagement. And we believe that employee engagement is a result of proper fit. And proper fit is a result of proper alignment. And alignment to us, both in the way that we hire and the way that we manage our team, alignment comes from two things. And it's a personal, what is your personal purpose in life? What is your why? It's worth time investing in figuring that out if you haven't. And then how does that align with the organization that you work for's mission, vision, guiding principles? If those two things are aligned, that will help drive higher levels of fit and engagement. And then the other way that alignment occurs is in your personal strengths, and your skills and the position that you're asked to, the role that you're asked to perform. And if those align, now you've got um, alignment in another form. So you've got your purpose aligning to the mission. You've got your strengths and skills aligned to your role. And there's been a lot of studies like the Gallup State of the Workforce that talks about the importance of employee engagement and alignment. And it talks about in that particular study, the alignment of strengths and skills in the role. And then there's other studies that talk about the importance of your why and the connection with an organization. But there's no study that we've found that talks about, well, what if both are aligned? But we believe that if both are aligned, you have exponential increase in the results, the positive results that occur when someone is engaged at work. Productivity goes up, profitability goes up, job satisfaction for the individual goes up. They feel better at work, they feel better outside of work. And so we advise our clients with that philosophy that are in career transition themselves. And then obviously, to sort of eat our own dog food, we hire and manage our team with those principles in mind. And I'd say, we are a strengths-based organization. We do know one another's strengths. We know how those impact what we do well, how those impact what we don't do well. How do we pair people up that have skills and strengths that complement one another? So that's our philosophical approach on how we run our team is based on that it goes back to that importance of driving alignment, fit, and engagement.
Excellent. That was very insightful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to piece that together. That was good. Excellent. Okay. Second to last question. What question should I be asking you that I haven't?
You can ask me anything you want about anything that we do as far as, helping individuals in career transition. If anything piqued your interest as I was talking about the journey that people have to navigate through their career and how we can help them, and how we do that. If there's anything, I'd say if you're curious about anything I've said, I'd just invite you to ask it.
So I would, recently, fairly recently, I had my daughters, go through college, graduate college, look at careers and things. It seemed as if when they started college, one of them knew what she wanted to do and one of them didn't. And one of them, it was pretty clear cut and it was pretty straightforward. And she wanted to get into a nursing program, RN program. And that one was not that complicated. She looked at different schools and kind of picked some and applied and all that. The other daughter, she didn't really know what she wanted to do. And so what do you do when you've got a high school student and their parents, and they really don't know? They really don't have an idea. And, how do you pick a school when you don't know what you want to do, type thing?
Yeah.
Answer that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is not uncommon. I mean, I'd say it's 80-20. I'd say 20% of our clients come to us knowing, or air quotes, knowing what they want to do.
Right.
And then, the majority don't know, and that should be expected of a 16, 17, 18-year-old, and their mind is going to change, along the way. Both within college, they might change their minds, and then 20 years down the road, they might change their minds. So we talk about career direction, not career selection. So part of what we do is helping our clients, especially high school, this is very important, understand what are their strengths. Again, we're a strengths-based organization. What are their values and what is their purpose for how they see it today? And then how does that define what you might be interested in? And let's just take the nursing student path for a second. So why do you want to be a nurse? Well, if I asked your daughter that, she might have said, I really want to help people. Or she might have said, I want to be viewed as an expert by those who I work with. When I walk in the room, I'm the medical expert. I've got a patient who needs my help. I want the prestige. I want the challenge of a science-based curriculum. So whatever her reasoning, and her top 2 to 3 choices. Well, if you want to help people, what other careers might you pursue that would allow you to help people? And so what that affords us is helping a young person understand the values that are driving the direction that they think they want to go in, and then making sure that there are maybe alternative paths for them so that if nursing doesn't work out for some reason, uh, it's go back to these reasons why you wanted to be a nurse and see if there's something else that maybe fits with you that aligns with those reasons for why you wanted to pursue that potential path in the first place. So we really try to peel back down past like I want to be a nurse, understand why, and then make sure that when we're advising them that they go into a program that does have the ability to go to a plan B or C or D if you get halfway through college and all of a sudden you realize, you know what, I don't like these courses, or I don't like this path I'm on. So making the pivot easier. And then for those that don't know, it's kind of the same process, going back to the individual. What is your purpose? What are your strengths? We do have a career kind of coaching diagnostic that we'll do with individuals, and at least get them in a direction that then helps inform the college selection. But career direction comes first, and then college selection after that.
Yeah. So career, then college.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, that's a good insights there, because we went through that with our younger daughter, because she didn't know, and then she did change her major a couple times and
Yeah.
finally landed on something, so that was good. But
Yeah.
yeah, at that age, I don't think that anybody knows really that much. So
Oh no, I mentioned we work with veterans, and veterans, um, they come out of the special forces community by and large. And the two biggest things they'll state as challenges is I don't know what I want to do, and I don't know how to talk about myself. And when we really think about it, that describes a 17-year-old just as well as it does a 30-year veteran of an armed forces. So it's the same approach. It's really about understanding the individual, what makes them tick, and then looking at the career from that point forward.
Sure. Excellent. I love that. Okay. All right. Wow, we're done. Okay, last question. Here we go. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And any words of advice for other business owners who are looking to grow their business?
Where I see myself in 5 years is probably really stepping back from the business, and letting some other people run it on the day-to-day standpoint. I think that's a realistic goal that my business partner and I talk about. And then advice, I mean, the advice I would give anyone is have high expectations for yourselves, but understand and be prepared for the fact that it's a grind and things don't always happen as fast as you wish them to. You're going to make mistakes, learn from them, use them as a point of like we say, fail, the acronym fail, first
Right.
attempt in learning. You're going to make mistakes. Things aren't going to go your way. Things are going to take longer than you planned. Just stay with it, because when you do succeed in a business, it's so much more rewarding than anything else in the professional space, I think.
Excellent. All right, great. Well done, Chad. Thank you very much for being our speaker today. This is Chad Clay from Real Frequency. And hopefully everybody got a lot out of that. I know I did. So that's awesome. So thank you again, Chad. And take care. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Thanks, Ted. Bye.